concerned, the construction site at West Kowloon is a fatal industrial case. First of all, I would like to express my condolences to the two families that have been affected. I've also urged the Social Welfare Department to provide urgent support. The acting chief executive, Mr. Chang, has already taken the police to task for an criminal investigation. It will be assisted by the Labor Department. I've also asked about the update of the investigation, and I have expressed the importance of a speedy investigation to hold the perpetrators responsible. The Labor Department immediately carried out inspection to construction site with an enclosed area. So this is a swift measure. Every time there is an industrial accident, our heart sink. The Labor Department urges all practitioners to follow relevant guidelines and health and safety measures. Persons responsible should ensure that there is a safe working environment, proper training for workers to enhance their safety awareness. Workers themselves will have to abide by all the safety measures. Enhancing health and safety is a continuous task. All departments and bureaus will, as well as the Labor Department, of course, will do their best. Yesterday evening, I came back from Hangzhou, and I've expressed how I felt at the airport. One of the observations I have shared with you was that I fully recognize the contributions made by Hong Kong athletes, and they have my full support. During the first 2 days of the Hangzhou Asian Games, Hong Kong athletes have made great achievements. As at yesterday evening, we have obtained 3 gold, 4 silver, and 7 bronze medals, altogether 14 medals. Hong Kong athletes have been training non-stop, and they have earned glory for Hong Kong. We fully recognize the contributions they have made, and they have our full support. We will support Hong Kong athletes and the development of sports and athletes in Hong Kong. We have recently put in more resources. We have put in close to $7.4 billion in recent years, which is an increase about 42% on sports development. We have a 5-pronged approach to promote sports, that is, popularization, elite athletes, turning sports into an industry, as well as turning sports events into mega events. We have devoted about $6 million in various leisure sports activities, including the Sports Day for Hong Kong, to encourage a culture of exercising and playing sports. And through promotion of sports at schools and subsidizing national sports associations, we encourage people of all ages to play sports. In terms of elite athletes, we make use of the Elite Athletes Fund to provide funding to the Sports Institute to train about 1,300 local elite athletes. For this year, we have allocated more than $860 million, and the relevant construction work is being expedited to be completed by 2024, so that athletes will get an international standard training facilities. We also have a 2-pronged approach to support athletes to train and to study at the same time. We've also helped them to change the career path. In terms of mega events, we have enhanced the mega events, and we subsidize NSAs to organize international events. We have increased the funding to $15 million. This year, there will be over a dozen of international sports games. In the coming 2 months, we have a tennis game, we have swimming games, golf, squash, and 3 aside games and new mega events. Say, for example, in November, there is the Rally China Station. In terms of turning it into an industry, we have plenty of opportunities here. In 2019, in terms of sports industry, the GDP is about $39 billion, employing a huge number of employees. This will continue to develop. We need high-quality facilities. In the past decade, the government has done a lot of work to build infrastructure. Say, for example, main facilities at the Kai Tak Sports Park, they will be completed by phases by the end of 2024, so that in 2025, some of the games in the China National Games can take place in Hong Kong. We'll continue to take forward the development. We will encourage a culture of sports and enhance the level of our athletes. Since the start of the Asian Games, a lot of people have gone to shopping malls to watch live games. Shopping malls become one of the key popular areas visited by Hong Kongers during the night market. With the Mid-Autumn Festival and the National Day round the corner, I'm sure that night activities will become more vibrant. We will make use of the Victoria Harbour in Wan Chai, Kennedy Town, and Kwun Tong. The promenades at these locations will, starting from this week, launch a series of activities and events. There are other festive events as well that includes the Tai Hang Fire Dragon Dance at Tai Hang. In the evening on the 1st of October, there will be a revival of the firework on National Day after a hiatus of 5 years. We reckon there will be hundreds of thousands of Hong Kongers and visitors going to the Victoria Harbour to enjoy the spectacular show. I appeal to different quarters in Hong Kong, different organizations and bodies to pick their brains and come up with novel ideas to attract people to go out and participate. Relevant government departments will also dovetail their work and provide assistance as necessary. The Fire Services Department has provided assistance for operators to use naked fire to cook during the night market. We have waves and waves of festive activities starting from now until the beginning of next year. We will continue to listen to different views, and I ask members of the public to participate and to spread the joy. Thank you very much. We'll now answer questions. Please raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. Keep the number of questions to no more than 2 and identify your media outlet before you ask questions. I'm from TVB. Good morning. I'd like to ask about the industrial accident at Austin Road. It's suspected that someone has not complied with guidelines or the law. So in terms of the regulatory regime, are there loopholes? Is there more you can do so that you can prevent people from flouting the regulations and guidelines? And yesterday, you were asked about the 2 brothers dying as a result of negligence in Sao Mau Ping. Yesterday, a press release was published saying that the contact had been made with the 2 brothers and found that they could take care of themselves. Unfortunately, we hear about the tragedy in the end. So, could more have been done by relevant department to prevent this from happening?
Hi.
About the industrial accident at the West Kowloon construction site, it was a serious accident. As I said, I attached great importance to the accident and I took the matter seriously. No one wanted the accident to happen. In terms of law, we have already strengthened the relevant requirements under the Occupational Health and Safety Ordinance. Those who violate the laws can be liable to a maximum imprisonment of 2 years. Of course, we can toughen penalties to penalize those who violate the law. However, we do need people to abide by the law, no matter how many laws there are in place. For instance, those who commit robbery, they will have to be penalized. So we have to ensure that the legislations are effective, be it practitioners of the industry, persons in charge of construction sites. They are key to ensuring construction safety. So everyone plays a part. I think apart from the law, we have to enhance the occupational health and safety culture. With such culture in place, well, be it persons in charge of construction sites and practitioners of the industry, they will be more aware of the importance of construction and occupational safety. Recent years, we've been trying to make use of technology to enhance construction safety. No matter what, we do have to abide by the relevant laws and guidelines in relation to construction safety strictly. There are lots of construction sites in Hong Kong. Everyone in charge of these construction sites have to play their role. As for the government, apart from enforcing the law, of course it will carry out inspections. It will hold people accountable when there are accidents. Apart from enforcing the law, the government will roll out new measures to prevent such accidents. No matter how harsh the laws are and how clear the guidelines are, we all have to enhance and promote the culture of construction safety. Those who take part in the industry, including the practitioners, they all have a role to play, and the government will spare no effort in its work as well. Media friends should also help promote the culture. Every time when such accident takes place, we have to make clear what the responsibilities of each stakeholder are. So they have to play their part. Therefore, the Labor Department will inspect construction sites with confined or enclosed spaces. Turning to the incident or the tragedy involving the two brothers, the two intellectually disabled brothers who passed away in their home. According to the information provided by the hospital authority, as we have all heard just now, the authority has already released information that they have taken hold of. We understand that the two brothers had been living on their own after their mother was hospitalized during a 4-month period. We understand that they had self-care abilities. We have to wait for the autopsy to understand the cause of their death. I believe the police will conduct an investigation and submit a report to the coroner's court for the coroner's court to consider whether it is necessary to hold an inquest. We're all saddened by such incident. We attach importance to support given to carers. Apart from giving support to carers, we have to see whether there are any hidden cases that require our support. Of course, the government is responsible in this regard, and organizations that provide welfare support should enhance their effort to offer help to those in need or carers, or to people with intellectual disabilities. I believe at the community level, we should also learn about whether there are families who need help, and therefore the district care teams come into play. With the improved district council governance, the future district council will also be able to play its part. Under the improved district council governance, the district officers will also offer their help and play their duties so that we can all help to build a society with mutual support to each other. In terms of this, the government, organization offering welfare support, and district care teams, as well as volunteers, should work together. They all play an important part. I think those working at the community level will have the best understanding of those in need, and they can reflect what they have observed to the government or community organizations, which will all work together to build a caring society. The parties I mentioned just now should play a bigger role or make a greater effort to help those in need, especially those who do not take an initiative to seek help. Next, the one on the right-hand side towards the front. Yes, over there. The other journalist over there, please.
Kari from Bloomberg. I'm wondering, has Hong Kong received an invitation to attend APAC, and will you be attending APAC in November? And if not, who will the city send as a representative? And then secondly, I'd like to ask on the JX and whether crypto is too dangerous for retail.
Can you repeat the second question?
I'm wondering whether, what are the lessons you've learned from the JPEGs and whether crypto is simply too dangerous to use for retail?
Well, according to APAC guidelines and protocol, the organizer should send invitation to the leader of the respective economies. I am still waiting for the invitation letter to be sent to me. We will attend in accordance with standard protocol. In regard to the incident of JPEGs, I have explained very clearly the government position, which is, first of all, investors must invest on platforms which are licensed so as to ensure they are properly protected. The second is we have to ensure that information we disseminate should be transparent and as clear as possible. The third is we should promote investors' education so that they will understand how the products work and also how they can assess the risk that they have to face. I have already seen that SFC has already published information regarding platforms that are licensed, that are deemed to be licensed, or platforms that have been closed down, or platforms which have made application. This clear information will assist investors to make decision as to regard what they should do when they consider making investment. But I must repeat, their interests will be best protected if they invest on platforms which have been licensed. That means these platforms will be properly regulated. There will be proper risk control and proper standards that they must fulfill. If investors choose to invest on platforms that are not licensed, they have to face their own risks. I advise them not to do so. That is why the government is so concerned about enforcing an effective licensing regime. And I urge everyone to try to understand the product and the risk as much as possible if they choose to invest on virtual assets. The government, the responsible authorities, and I think also people who engage in this business should all try to promote education in this regard.
時間關係咧，我哋答今日最後一位記者嘅提問嘅。左手邊前排嘅白色衫女記者。
We'll take the last question. The lady in white. I'm from News. I have two questions. First, very soon the nomination period of the district council election will start, but we haven't seen any action taken by the government in terms of publicity. This is the first district council election after the improved electoral system. Do you have any publicity campaign in place to encourage participation and to help the public understand? In a week, there will be the Golden Week with the National Day. Well, have you made any preparations? Do you have any estimate figures of people coming to Hong Kong and people going to China to spend, to mainland China to spend? I believe that the EAC, the Electoral Affairs Commission, will make announcements as soon as possible. After that, there will be a series of briefing sessions and publicity activities being launched. The general public will know about details of the election arrangements, including polling stations and polling hours. We will continue our work in this regard because this is the first DC general election after the improved electoral system. It's very important. We will enhance our work on publicity and we will ensure that voting will be done in an orderly, fair and transparent manner. I appeal to the public to vote. In terms of the National Day Golden Week, we reckon there will be a large number of visitors coming to Hong Kong. After a hiatus of 5 years, we will have the National Day firework display. We have received a large number of inquiries. We believe that the number of visitors will be huge. The Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau has been doing a lot of preparation work. Community organizations and bodies have taken the initiative to organize various events, activities, and measures to help disseminate relevant information. The hotel industry is also doing a lot of work to make preparations. I heard that everyone's mobilized for the Golden Week. There will be special measures put in place at the border. We will deploy additional manpower. Especially at cross-boundary locations where we expect a large number of traffic. We've also deployed more manpower at the airport as well. We will react very swiftly as we keep in view the situation. The Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau will have corresponding measures in place. We're confident that during the Golden Week, visitors and Hong Kong people will all participate in this festive period. And I believe that everyone, visitors and locals included, will feel the vibrancy of our night market. And I thank you all for your participation. That's the end of the press conference. If you have questions, you may ask them at different platforms.